You, friend, are super conscious. You just don't know that yet. Yes, there are 3 parts of your consciousness, and if you have been following my channel, then you know I spoke about this previously, and if you're new here, welcome. You are super conscious, and there is 3 parts of your consciousness. You're conscious, you're unconscious, and you're super conscious. And what you truly are is super conscious, actually. There are these other parts of your consciousness, but ultimately what you are is pure creative life force energy. You might think, okay, well, this is basic news, but that's what superconscious is. Superconscious is your higher, it's like your higher self. It's the part of you that is energetic. It's the part of you that is constantly plugged in and never separate from the world of the unseen, the limitless field of possibilities, the field of endless possibility, aka the quantum field, the morphic field, the Akashic records, like all of that. So you are that. That's it. This is not a special thing. This is not a special thing for the people who have an accreditation to read the Akashic records. You are always plugged into it. At least there is a part of your consciousness which is always plugged into that field of consciousness, and you can, and in fact this is my invitation, to choose to start living a superconscious life, to choose to start living as superconscious self, because that is the truth of you. That is who you truly are. That is who and what you truly are. Superconscious. And so what is superconscious? What is the soul? What is it? What are we? And what you are is a field of information. The Akashic records is a field of information. The quantum field is a field of information. Source is a field of information. It's code. It's information. It's a field of information. Data. Energy. Frequency. It is frequency, energy, structured in certain ways, or unstructured, but it's a field of information, and you, friend, are a field of information. Even your body, your consciousness, your conscious mind, the way your mind is arranged, the way your body is arranged, is a field of information. So my invitation is to start living as superconscious, to start relating to yourself as superconscious, rather than this name, this history, this personality that you have been identifying as so far in your life. Why is this important? Why am I saying this on a manifestation channel? It's because again, this is a condition of being a human being, that we forget that we are this creative life force energy. We forget that we are superconscious, and it's easy to forget. And even when you start remembering, you will still fall back into relating to yourself like you're not this, like you're little old you. Especially when shit hits the fan. Immediately you start relating to yourself like little old you. Very easy mistake to make. It's the condition of being a human being. At least it has been until this time in history. And it's also due to societal conditioning. It's just how the world has been for the longest time, that people have been living in forgetfulness, in forgetfulness of what we truly are. And so why is this important? Once again, as someone who is a conscious creator, who creates their own reality in the way that they would love to, that they would prefer to see it, is because when you relate to yourself like little old you, you keep living in forgetfulness that you created all the limitation that is part of your life, your personality. So in fact, I am inviting you to become limitless, that which you truly are, that is limitless. But if you don't remember, if you keep living your life like little old you in the forgetfulness of what you truly are, then it is your unconscious sabotaging agendas that are running your life. And I spoke about this in the previous video, the 9 unconscious sabotaging agendas or unconscious sabotaging identities are as follow. I am unworthy. I am not good enough. I don't belong. I am not safe. I am not able to handle negative emotion. I am not perfect. I don't have permission. I must avoid conflict. And I must have control and power to be successful. And so if you are living your life in the forgetfulness of what you truly are, then these are the things that actually run your life. So when you try to create something in your life, maybe you try to create it for months or years in some cases, and you still haven't manifested it, you still haven't managed to create it, it's because there is one of these unconscious agendas, unconscious, i.e. you are not conscious of them. There is one or some of these unconscious sabotaging agendas which, because you're not conscious of them, they create your results, they run your life from the background. And it's your identity gets caught in these beliefs, and because it's unconscious, you can never truly escape, so you keep manifesting the same type of results, and breaking through is really, really difficult. And this is part of why it's so important to start remembering and relating to yourself like superconscious. You are superconscious. You are creative life force energy. You're nothing but creative life force energy. You are superconscious. You are a limitless spiritual being. And you have this body, and this body is completely yours. And this life is completely yours, and you created everything that's in your life because you are creative life force energy. That is your true nature. That is what you are. You are constantly creating. You are constantly manifesting. You cannot turn it off. There's nothing wrong with you. You work perfectly. And it's just that if you are not conscious of your unconscious sabotaging agenda, your unconscious sabotaging identity, then you're gonna see results in your life that you'd rather not prefer. But all your life will be an attempt to overcome those unconscious beliefs. So for example, if you want to be in a relationship, let's say, and your unconscious sabotaging agenda is I'm not good enough, you will constantly try to be in a relationship to prove to yourself and the world that you are good enough. So you will either be in relationships where you will have to constantly prove that you're good enough, but you never will be good enough, because in order to be good enough, your identity would have to die, but habits die very, very hard. So your identity doesn't want to die. So, in order to be in a relationship, then this unconscious identity, I'm not good enough, either would have to die, or it will have to create a relationship where you keep having to prove yourself the same thing. Or same difference, same example, if you want to create a successful business and you have it like you're unworthy, you're not good enough, you will create a business, but you're gonna keep meeting results in the business which prove to you you're not worthy, you're not good enough, even if you create the business, because it's your unconscious sabotaging agenda that runs the show. and it will make you take actions and listen to information. And even if you hear the right information, you will still not be able to take the action, because your unconscious will still be having it like, no, like being unworthy and not good enough equals safe. That's what constitutes safe for your unconscious. And it's going to not let you go to a new reality where that doesn't exist. And you keep attempting to overcome. Like if you're creating a business, right? If you are creating a business or a relationship, in order to overcome the unconscious agenda of I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, then the relationship will either keep reflecting the same thing back to you, or you will just not create it. So this is why when you are creating something, it has to be from nothing. When you choose to create something, when you decide, when you choose to manifest something, it will have to be a true choice. And what is a true choice? A true choice is when you choose something just because you love it and no other reason. It's just for you. It's not for others. It's not for somebody else. It's not to get away from a problem. It's not to prove yourself worthy. It's not to prove that you belong. It's not to prove that you're good enough. It's not to prove that you're perfect. It's not to get permission. It's not to be in control. It's not to avoid being alone. It's not, right? It's not to avoid being in poverty. The reason for your creating a relationship or a business or whatever it is you're creating, it will have to be just because you love it, not to avoid the things that you're trying to avoid, not to try to overcome your unconscious agendas. So it's kind of tricky. And in the previous video, I was talking about true choice and what is a true choice and why it is so important to have a true choice before you are deciding to and setting out to create something. And how you put yourself, by the way, how you put yourself in a place where you can have a true choice is by being in the correct structure, which is the creative structure, which I have talked about in another video. So, and you have to get yourself into a state of being where you have no resistance to what you don't like, no resistance to your unwanted circumstances. You're not trying to overcome your unconscious agendas. And you're not desiring to have that thing. You're not in like so much in like wanting and desire, like in a desire to have that thing. So this is the prerequisite to be in a creative structure, that you have no resistance and no desire. And there is several ways to get yourself into that state. And one of those is meditation, for example, breathing. And in the Conscious Creator Academy, we have something called the Core 4 Choices, which is just for the Academy members, which I take people through processes to get them into this creative structure, which is constituted by choosing 4 core choices and living those choices. So first choose these correct choices, which are the prerequisite to get you into this state where you have no resistance and no desire, and you get to live like that every single day and every single moment of your life. And it doesn't require you to go into a cave in the Himalayas and be an enlightened yogi, but you're going to be enlightened. You are going to be, like, okay, that's in brackets. I should not say that because, like, you know, they say you should sell people what they want and give them what they need, and that's such BS, you know. But I don't know if the marketers are right, because I'm not a marketer, so I don't know. Here I am telling you I'm selling manifestation, but you're gonna be enlightened if you join my membership. And it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You can be enlightened right now, by the way, this very moment. Here, let's do this. Let's get enlightened this very moment. Be an enlightened being with me right now. So just take a deep breath. and ask yourself, where does I arise from? Where does I arise from? Say I. Close your eyes and say I. And follow it back to the source. Where does it come from? And that is it. That's what you are. This is enlightenment. Nothing else is needed. And if you can spend more time, if you can train yourself to spend more and more time in that space, in that exquisite space where I arises from, you will know more than you need to know about existence and life and self and God and reality and all of that. There you are. You're enlightened. And there's more of that. There's way more of that in my membership. But I already gave the most important thing to you. That's it. This is one of the ways to enter that state where there is no resistance and no desire, so you can create that which you want to create. And so that it's a true choice. And it's just for you, and it's just because you love it. Create from there. Create from there. Create from this space. And so why I'm inviting you to live a super conscious life is because this means, right, this is good news, because if you are super conscious, and if you put all your limitations there into your unconscious, because that was you accepted it, you put it there, and your creative life force energy, then this means if you put it there, you can get it out and put something else there. And this is why I'm inviting you to live a super conscious life. And this is why I'm inviting you to remember what you are in truth. Okay, this was a bit of a ramble. I hope it was helpful. I see you in the next video.